Can the upcoming Nosferatu remake by Robert Eggers do for vampires today what Bram Stoker's Dracula did 3 decades ago? Hollywood are certainly banking on that, because they not only have a series of alternate posters ready to go, but special Nosferatu popcorn buckets as well. We of course are very excited for the movie, having already done an ultimate retrospective of the original 1922 classic, which to a large extent interprets the movie, as well as our own 4K remaster of the movie itself, with a brand new score, newly translated intertitles, and the correct color tints. And you can find both of these videos, known commonly as the Nosferatu Midnight's Edge Experience, on our new channel Midnight's Edge Classics and Retrospectives, linked to in the description. You might want to check those out before seeing the upcoming movie. But how is the new movie, which isn't due for release for another month? As it happens, we are in the position where our good friend Paulie from Latinoslant and Midnight's Edge Espanol fame actually has seen it. And we just had a conversation with him about it.
Anyway, we have somebody in the back joining us because we just got a new poster. Like, they've been dropping so many posters for this, but Andre, this might be one of the coolest ones yet.
I love this new poster for Nosferatu. This looks like a poster that looks like a proper hand-drawn poster from the 70s. I like it. Very cool.
That's very artistic. And we have somebody who's seen the film with us today.
Hey, Paulie.
Paulie of the
Wow, Paulie.
Slant. How you doing, Paulie?
Hey, can you guys hear me? How do I sound?
Oh, we hear you fine.
Yep.
Excellent.
Are you on that new service you got?
No, not yet. Well, this is
Okay.
through Opera.
Well, you're looking.
This is through. I'm running through Midnight's Edge right now. There's
Okay.
StreamYard, yeah. So I haven't quite decided yet, but I'm gonna have to by tomorrow.
Yeah.
Anyways, how's it going, everyone? Happy Monday. Hello, chat.
So let's talk about the vampire in the room. What did you think?
Oh, what did I think? Okay, I think it is a brilliant film. I think it's one of the best of the year. I think it's one of the scariest things I've ever seen. It's
Wow.
I don't quite understand how Skarsgård pulled off such an evil, beastly performance. I mean, I crossed myself several times, you know.
So we on the outside, we haven't even seen what he looks like in full, and they're not going to reveal that until the release of the movie. So you were actually then sold on his performance.
Oh my God! I'm so, yes, and that, you know, that's one thing we did not talk about in our early reactions. So right now I have 2 reactions videos up. Are the which they let us put up, which says something about the film, and the full embargo lifts on the 2nd. So I'm trying to decide, Andre. I'm thinking maybe I'll invite you on, and we'll just do a live discussion. Like, we'll just go like, you know, non-spoiler section and then full on.
So I do consider myself something of a Nosferatu expert right now.
I was going to say, I don't know how much of this you could really spoil unless they majorly change some things, but like...
Right. So we just didn't talk about Skarsgård's performance. I just, just because it was so incredible. Like, we were more like, you know, about Lily Rose Depp, Nicholas Hoult, Willem Dafoe. I mean, it is a perfect cast in my opinion. They're British in regards to their accents, playing Germans. So I don't know if people are particular about that. I didn't care, you know. They just
do they have like their British accent, or do they sport like fake German accents? Is that what you mean?
No, they do their own accents. Hoult,
okay, yeah, their natural accents. Yeah, okay, fine.
Right. Hoult and Aaron Taylor Johnson do their own accents. So I think, you know, obviously I can't review it or give spoilers, but I can kind of tell you my reactions or questions if you guys have.
Hey, Paulie, so how familiar are you with the original, the 1922? Or like, when was the last time you looked at that?
Well, funny enough, this past month, because of Midnight Experience.
My question would then be because you can't talk about the plot, but obviously one of the driving factors that makes it such a classic is the cinematography, is the atmosphere. How similar do you think in tone and overall feel of this new one is compared to, say, the original, as just a first comparison?
Oh, I mean, this is ultimate. This is ultimate. This is the ultimate horror film. I mean, Edgar's is probably his most accessible, most mainstream film of his movies, if you know what I mean. Comparing it to the silent film, which is really what would you call German expressionism, correct?
Mm-hmm.
This
Correct.
has those
That's
elements.
what you would call it.
Right. This has those elements. It tips its hat. There's even some shots that are similar to this, which is really cool. But there's other cinematic elements into this. I mean, the cinematographer, I was just reading where he was more influenced into that century's romanticism. So all I could tell you, and I'm not like this cinema buff in regards to expressions and what's that, is that it's a beautiful looking film, and at times just even a shot of a dirt road with the background and foreground of a forest engulfing it scared the crap out of me. Because there's a shot there where Nicholas Holt's character is riding down the road, and that's the road he's got to take. I'm like, don't go there. Don't go there.
Well, actually, I have a picture of him in the film here, Andre.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
No,
I'm just kidding. That's
no,
the wrong movie.
Absolutely
wrong
not.
movie. I'm sorry.
How much did you notice much CGI? Because I was hoping that this would be mostly a practical movie, given its origins or its pedigree. Did you see?
From what I saw, it was all practical in regards to Orlok, in regards to because I think he was talking about a 4 to 6 hour a day prosthetic preparation.
Sure.
So other shots as far as landscapes and stuff like that, probably, but I really couldn't tell meaning that I wasn't really looking because I was just kind of just enjoying myself and being terrified as a
I have a question you can probably answer
as a moviegoer. Yeah.
How do you think the audience is going to react to this? Do you think that this might do for the original Universal Bela Lugosi Dracula what Bram Stoker's 90s Dracula did for that, as far as what pop culture, kind of reintroduced Dracula into pop culture in a new way, right? Do you think that might be what is going to happen here with this film? Do you think people are going to go see it? Do you think the buzz is pretty hot for this film, or do you think it's going to be lukewarm to mediocre?
I definitely don't think it's going to be lukewarm. I think it's going to be that is an interesting question, because that's the thing we brought up in our discussion. And I did not go with Romy. I went with our film critic, Rosa Parra. She's the one who invited me, and you got our reactions on our website and et cetera, et cetera. Was that, how is the general audience going to react to this? Because it's not an art film, but there is that in there, but it's also too, Edgar's has his weird moments in there, which I like, but it's also to a Dracula film in the sense that there's levity, there's some great levity in there, and then there's a bit of action, but not how we think. How would you say it? Hollywood, your typical Hollywood action, look and feel. So I don't know, man. It comes out Christmas Day. You talk about something so blasphemous as to come out on Christmas Day. Wow. I do see a lot of people.
Well, and that's part of the reason I asked that, is because most people don't remember, but Bram Stoker's Dracula dropped on Christmas weekend as well. I think it was right around Thanksgiving or Christmas, but yeah, it was after Halloween. Yeah. And that movie did massively well, and it, like I said, brought Dracula back into the pop culture in a massive way, and really changed vampires going forward. And I kind of am seeing a lot of parallels here, and I'm not trying to say that, you know, Nosferatu is going to be a ripoff, because I mean it is its own thing, right? Like it's clearly like I see the similarities to what Bram Stoker Dracula did with the story to what Eggers is doing here with Nosferatu, if that makes sense. Like he's making it bigger, grander, more epic on this bigger scale, and he's paying loving homage to it. It seems like, anyway.
And, you know, because of the Midnight's Edge experience retrospective, which I encourage everyone to see, I got more insight into the whole idea of how the two lead characters are bound to each other and the whole idea of human sacrifice. Wow. Oh, my God, Andre.
Yeah, because that's the one big difference between the actual Dracula story and Nosferatu, and one thing that Ford Coppola found himself cornered into doing basically in the 92 film.
Right. He couldn't kill Winona. Right.
And that's one thing that I was curious about, was if, having seen that retrospective with the then implied interpretation of the original movie, if that then deepened the experience of this one, if that kind of like uses the same themes, and that you're better able to appreciate that, having seen the retrospective of the original.
It deepens it, and then it gets a little native with the locals in Carpathia and some of their rituals, if I could say that. Almost, I don't want to. I think you know what I mean in regards to what they might do to ward off the evil.
I can imagine. I can imagine some of the things. Yeah.
Yeah. There you go. That blew me away. And we're blown away because it is from that what I'm talking about in regards to Hutter arriving to the local village, which, you know, is, I don't think is a spoiler, because that's part of the story. It's part of the old one. What he encounters even before he goes to the castle. Wow.
Okay, so there's that kind of leads into my next question that you can kind of answer without getting into specifics, is how far does this deviate from the original Nosferatu, and how much liberty does it take as far as the story? Because, you know, famously the 1979 version is really more or less just a remake of the film in visual form, and that's about it. Otherwise, it's basically Dracula.
Yeah, thematically, it is Dracula.
Yeah.
All the themes are absent in the Werner Herzog remake.
Yeah, I don't think I can answer that.
Oh, that's fine.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah. I mean, we know you can only say so much. So, like,
yeah, you know, and the thing is too, because it's Rosa's reputation on as a film critic.
Oh, like, of course, no, we're not taking any chances. No,
right.
No.
And she, you know, we can't wait to release any of the info, and then of course have Midnight's Edge a part of our.
Well, this is the only movie I'm anticipating for the rest of the year at this point. Oh, we just lost.
Yeah.
I mean,
Culture had to go.
Culture had to run. Okay.
Okay. But I all I could tell you is, Eggers made it his own while tipping his cap to the whole time.
That's exactly what I wanted to hear.
Right.
Yeah. And I mean, I haven't seen all of his films, but I
how
love
long?
The Northman.
How long is the movie?
I don't know. That's a good question.
I've seen the running time. It's just slightly over 2 hours, I believe.
Oh, okay.
If I remember right.
132 minutes.
Yeah, I was gonna say just over 2 hours. Yeah, like 2 hours and 12 minutes. Yeah.
You know, it was the timing was great. I mean, in the
tickets
sense,
go on sale today, actually, if I remember right.
Yeah, they just went on sale early this morning. I was impressed with you guys are gonna love what's his name, Canuck. But did they change the name of his character?
What, Orlok?
No, not Orlok. Knock. Knock.
Yeah, Knock.
Oh, the Renfield.
Realtor, Knock, yeah.
And Ralph Ineson as the doctor. Everyone, man. I mean, and I will say that the much needed levity of Willem Dafoe to me, there's that also, you know, because he's just having a blast as this role, it's almost like Orlok, almost over the top, but it's perfect.
See, that was the one thing I was worried about, because since Defoe had done Orlok previously in Shadow of the Vampire, and, you know, given his attitude and things, I was thinking, is he going to be too campy for something that's trying to be this gothic and dark? And so that, I know you can't talk too much about plot points and everything else, but did his performance align with the atmosphere and the setting, do you think?
For me, it kind of stuck out, but for some reason it worked because of what he's doing and what he has to do, you know. And he's also to the, you know, the, what's the word I'm looking for, script, not the exposition, but he has to dump information.
Well, exposition is dumping information.
Exposition, yeah.
Does he do it in a way that doesn't feel like you're being lectured to or
told?
No.
That's
is it organic, I guess is the question.
No, it's all organic.
I the exposition.
Okay.
Yeah, because of when he comes in at that time in the film, and then what he's got to do, so he's got to almost.
Well, and that character always kind of served that purpose.
Well, he's a lore master. He's the actual, like,
well, he's the one guy who actually still follows the old ways, and that's kind of the thing where he's even more important. The version in Nosferatu is a little bit more important in some ways, because he always is the guy who defeats or knows how to defeat the vampire. But I mean, in this version, he's Andre. You put it more eloquently in the retrospective about how he believes in the old ways and human sacrifice and stuff like that, and that's kind of what brings them to the conclusion of the
that was the theme of the original, that basically modern society will lose in a fight against the ancient world.
Yeah,
I mean, that is all over this film, and especially with the coming of Orlok and the pestilence and everything he brings to the city. Oh,
all right. That's this guy needs to make
that's in the original. That's in the originals. Don't worry about it. That
is in the original. That's why I brought it up.
This guy knows how to do a remake. Okay, so that's all there is to it. And
he's one of the best filmmakers working today.
I only have to see the movie after hearing that. Yeah, sorry.
And again, I'm very happily impressed with Lily Rose. You know, the thing with Eggers, what he loves to do is he loves casting these actors who just have such distinctive faces and that can do such painful and just like ungodly expressions in things that they're going through. Almost like, I don't want to use a CGI person to do this. You're going to do it with your physical contortions. I was like, wow. Yeah. It wasn't Willem Dafoe as the most facially expressive person. There was other people doing it too.
Didn't Eggers do the Lighthouse movie with Dafoe?
He did, yes. That was the second movie.
All right.
Yes.
Well, the only thing I was like hoping for is that Dafoe got a second crack at playing Orlok, because as Stan brings up here and we bring up in the
he's done this before.
Well, the great film Shadow of the Vampire, if you haven't seen it, and I know it's a little hard to come by, but if you get a chance to, do yourself a favor. It's a great flick.
Well, do yourself a favor first before watching Eggers' Nosferatu, guys, in the chat. Watch the Midnight Edge 4K experience retrospective and the what you guys did with, because I rewatched it this past weekend after I saw, and I was like, wow, this is incredible what you guys did.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, quite happy with how that came out.
Yeah.
So anything else you want to say that you can say about Nosferatu before we move back into super chats and other stories?
Whatever. I mean, if you guys have a question or two where I could answer, but that's really
I'm sold at this point. This is my most anticipated movie. So
I don't even want to know anymore. I'm just happy with everything. Well, one thing. Actually, no, I don't want to know anything.
I have a question. Is Frankenstein in it, and does he sing "Putting on the Ritz"?
Is there any sequel bait?
You, baby, you.
Yeah, at the very end it says Nosferatu will return.
Is
in Avengers Endgame 3.
Nosferatu 2. the ballet.
They ain't none of that. And
yeah, the sequel's called Nosferatu also.
Nosferatu.
There was there in regards to that, none of that. And this is a big passion project for Eggers. It has been for a while.
This seems
now.
like it was the right guy to do this.
And
yeah,
I hope it's successful.
No, nothing in regards.
Commercial.
What's that?
Do you believe it's commercial?
I don't know. I think
that was my question too.
Yeah.
It's his most commercial, his most accessible, but with us.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that means
the Viking movie didn't end up being very commercial.
No, exactly. I mean, that was one of the best movies of that year, but it wasn't a commercial movie. It's an art house film. Because Eggers, he is one of the best directors working today. He's top 3, you ask me. But his movies are, if we're completely honest, they're special interest in their art house films.
Right.
We love them, but they're not commercial.
So I'm wondering if this breaks the dam because of what Tom was saying in regards to timing. It's going to be released during Christmas. What else is going to be out there? Counter programming. The way they also could promote this. I mean, this is a big studio that's doing it. So you just never know how this audience is. I mean, look what they did for Oppenheimer. So
that's true. It's an adult, it's an adult film.
Yeah. I mean, I think you're gonna have a lot of fans that are fans of Dracula, Nosferatu, fans of I would even say Tim Burton in regards to like the pop culture gothic, because there's a there is a little bit of that look and feel in it, but it's Eggers. This is not I just think you're gonna have those crowds coming. Plus, also too, you're gonna have a lot of social media reaction to this. Social media. I looked up when we put up our reaction reviews. There was maybe 2 other people who had seen it that put up videos. So I'm like, well, we got to put it up because probably in the next few weeks it's going to keep multiplying. So yeah,
I was thinking it's like sort of like they could try to do another double feature kind of thing. So like Barbenheimer, instead they do Nosferatu and Stitch.
Is that what's coming out?
Not on the same day as Nosferatu. So yeah, but
no, but Sonic will be around that same time. And
Sonic will be out before. Sonic, I think,
Master
will be done by
Clockwork
then.
actually says with $5, Sonic 3 will probably be the biggest kids movie of the year. I don't know. It's got a lot.
Don't forget about Inside Out 2, which is the biggest movie of the year. Period.
Biggest movie of the year.
I was gonna say,
all I could think about after the fact, right, was, God, I think Andre's gonna love this film. And I mean, and then with Rosa, she had nightmares that night,
Wow.
And then she she texted me the next day. She's like, so yeah, I mean, I think, yeah. So that's really December 2nd, which is really right around the corner.
This movie cannot come out soon enough.
Do a full spoiler reaction.
This cannot come out soon enough. Jeez, I just want it out now.
Yeah, I'm funny in that I don't get nightmares from any of these things, but I have a hard time watching. Like, I've got my hand in front of my face.
I have nightmares about bills.
Yeah.
Who doesn't?
Oh, you need to check out our Nosferatu just to like.
I did. I watched it.
Oh yeah, what do you think about it?
It was good.
Yeah.
To get the maximum enjoyment out of the upcoming Nosferatu, be sure to check out the Nosferatu Midnight's Edge experience, comprised of the ultimate retrospective on the original movie, plus our remaster of the movie itself. Both are linked to in the description.